Welcome back to the part two of the Dawah Bridge with me, Ahmed the Class, the poet, and talking about the role of poetry, the role of poets in society. Welcome back to the part two, brother.
Thank you.
So that was a very excellent and very moving poem you gave us, Love My Ramadan.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you, or talk to you about, really, not a discussion point as opposed to just questioning you, but talk to you about the idea of performing in that particular vernacular. Some people might think, okay, the Jamaican patois is like a very niche. But then you mentioned Bob Marley, and you said that Bob Marley, all right, he wasn't Muslim, but he was a global performer, somebody that had a platform, and that he obviously took this art form and made it global, and was able to his message touch people that were black, white, Asian, across the globe, right?
That's right, yeah.
So do you think it would be, I don't know, for some conservatives, they may raise their eyebrow. Oh, it's a bit niche. Is it Islamic? Is it really a nasheed, or is it not a nasheed, or how does it feature? What say you?
It's interesting because perhaps there are those sort of people that would think that way. But what you got to remember is that it's new. Perhaps it's quite new, and you're going to get generations of like Muslim who are Caribbean, who are going to express themselves in the language that they speak. If you think about these other nations such as Pakistan, it wasn't always a Muslim country, but they also obviously, I'm assuming they used to always express their poems and music in the language that they spoke. But now they become Muslim, they've expressed their love for Islam and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the language that they're speaking now. So for me, it's the same thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So perhaps people might think, oh, this is a bit, a bit strange. It's because obviously you haven't heard it before, but you've got to remember that everyone started off at the same sort of.
So there has to be no culture. How I'm thinking about it is like saying, so the Quran came to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, in Arabia. Before he received that message and articulated it to his society, they weren't Muslim, and they had poetry.
Yes.
And then they changed the content of their poetry to an Islamic message.
Exactly.
And so the same for places like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Persia. So likewise, inshallah, for the Caribbean region and other places.
Spot on. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Mashallah.
All right. So you've been performing in this format for around 2 years. Got your album coming up. And I'm thinking, well, you mentioned the history prior to performing on let's say the religious circuit, of being experience of just learning your craft as a spoken word artist. And I'm thinking there may be some young people, or even any age, but I'm just thinking about, in one sense, a youth who, whatever background they come from, but as Muslims they might be thinking, I want to air my thoughts. I feel something for the religion, and the performing art is what's pulling me. I don't know where to start. What would you say to them?
Well, how I started, I went to open mic nights. And open mic nights are just like, it's a space where you can just go there and just release your energy, release your, share your creativity with people. And then it's nice because you get to build your confidence as well. And also you get to see the response from the crowd.
Nothing like feedback, hey?
Nothing like feedback, yeah. So it's quite good. And there's obviously different types of spaces as well. So you will have like open mic nights, which will be Islamic. Or you got some that are just sort of just anything conscious, and some are just general as well. So it just depends what sort of stuff you want to talk about, whether it would be like sort of religious, Islamic, political. But if you can find like a sort of base, then I would say that's a good outlet to express your creativity.
So something about matching your message with the audience. There's no point in going to, or not necessarily no point, but it might be more challenging going into an arena where your message might not be most at home or well received.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're speaking about a particular topic, it's good to find your audience, because those are the ones that are going to listen to you.
Yeah. And what about like I said, because I've seen some stuff on YouTube. I've seen you perform on another TV station before. So I see the poise, I see the seasoned ability. How does a young artist gain that? Is there some secret? Is there some secret in the stew, or to control the nerves and to the voice is there, the delivery? How does it work?
So like for example, like the spoken word nights, the more you perform at those nights, you get used to you'll get nerves, but then you'll get used to performing in front of people. What you'll find over the sort of period, your style will like mature, and the more you perform, the more you become more confident with your words, like where to breathe. At first you don't know, not really sure where to breathe and how, but when you obviously it sort of resonates in you. You know where to breathe. You're calm. You're confident. So it's just and also when you're by yourself at home, just keep reciting. The best person that listens to yourself is yourself as well.
Indeed. So it's something about practicing, practice, perfecting your art, perfecting your craft.
Exactly.
Okay. So you said you received a lot of, essentially positive feedback, and alhamdulillah, and poetry is very important in society, and always has been, should I say? I'm thinking about, for example, ancient Babylon. I think they doing some research, and they said the poetry that actually remains intact, that survived from the ancient world, it goes back to where ancient Sumeria, ancient Iraq. With the Gilgamesh, I don't know if it's like something like 3,000 years ago plus. But we know that in Chinese civilization, throughout different civilizations, there's been poets that have had a message that have been very powerful, that have influenced society. Islamic society, I mean the Quranic, where the Quran was revealed, is in Arabia. We know they had a Jahiliyyah poetry. In fact, the Quran challenges some of the poets from Jahiliyyah to bring a writing like this if you can. I think it's one of the shortest surahs, Kawthar. I want to know more about your view on what you think the role of the poet is in society today. Is it to preach love? Is it to incite? Is it to criticize a society? What is, because we have free speech.
We do have, exactly,
How does a poet use it? What is his or her role, man?
So you do have different types of poets. You have like spiritual poets, you have political poets, and you have just like sort of poets that would quite humorous as well. And you have some poets that are just all-rounders as well. I think if I would like talk about political poets, I think it is their job to deliver a message of truth, whereas obviously, relying on, other powers that be, they might not obviously deliver the message to the people. So people
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you an example. There's, I can't remember their name, but there's a particular rap group in Senegal, and they're very political.
Muslim brothers?
Muslim brothers, And with this particular group, because they were so influential, they helped a particular president get into power.
So Obama ain't the first president that got into power based on... Obama isn't the first president that got into power based on poets?
No.
The help of poets, basically?
No.
Oh, okay.
I actually didn't know that was the case.
No, well, they say that hip-hop, that was Jay-Z and, the
right.
poets of...
the
spoken word artists of the United States that helped to publicize his message and his campaign.
Okay. No, I don't think it was.
But Senegal, you're saying this happened in Senegal before then?
I believe it was before, yeah.
Okay.
And so they helped get this president into power, which was very good actually, because they had a lot of
powerful position to sit in, right?
Yeah, because they had the backing of a lot of people, and also when these particular rappers, if they got arrested, they would have like thousands of people outside the police station protesting for their release. So it's interesting. You can see how the level of influence that you can have on people through your words. So I would say a political poet is very good, just to deliver a particular type of message, which obviously should be the truth for the people.
It's interesting, fascinating hearing you say that, because I'm thinking about the idea of like when social revolutions take place, you know, not necessarily as in guns blazing, but just, you know, revolution in a sense where a big change takes place in society.
Yeah.
And, you know, you said that, you know, the poets influence society. And I'm thinking sometimes, you know, there's that two-way street where the poets are, it's so much influenced by society itself, or it's a kind of interconnected relationship that sometimes they're just articulating the feeling of the people.
Yeah.
You know, they're like if you go back to like America, in the African American community, say like in the 60s, they had a group called, I think it was the Watts Poets, and they came out after the riots of the 1960s. You know, Dr. King passed, and you know this kind of era around this time, and the struggle for civil rights, equal rights, justice, which is something social and civil rights, something that we recognize as Muslims, you know, as a legitimate goal. But these Watts Poets were not only coming with poetry to influence the masses, but also, you know, expressing the anger or the frustration or the aspirations for change that was in the people. What are the other roles you see that the poet, he or she, has a potential to play in a society?
So what I've seen, like sort of with like spiritual poets as well, they help to heal a lot of people that are just going through a lot of like things in their lives, you know. You know,
I mean, as himself, as in using poetry as like a therapy to write and get it out themselves, or are you talking about them being healers with their works?
Being healers, basically, being healers with their works. Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot, you know, like people like respond to these spiritual poets very like in a positive manner. You know, like, you know, it can be things like stress, or even like if you want to look at this sort of Islamic route, there's like some people that were kind of like slipping away from Islam, and they felt the strength from these poets to start practicing again. It's like an encouragement, a reinforcer. So
to revive the Islamic spirit in them.
Yes. So in that sense, it's very important. It's very important. And these are like just words, and how you articulate your words and how you come across. It just has like such a powerful effect on people.
I think there's a saying that there's magic in rhetoric.
Yes.
In magic in words, right? Something like this.
Yes.
Words can move people to all kinds of actions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or words can, people that are on the verge of doing something, words can pacify them and make them not do what they was intended to do, for example. So, you know, speaking about rhetoric, you know, there are some forms of rhetoric that focus on the past, some that focus on like the here and now current affairs, or some that are talking about what things should be or are going to be like. Where would you pitch your work? Where does your work slot into any of those?
Okay, well, talking about a lot of sort of Islamic events, and sort of so I would place mine in the past and sort of present as well. Because there's obviously that piece about the night journey, which is obviously the historical journey that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he went to Jerusalem, then he went to the heavens. That was in the past, but because of that journey, we are sort of benefiting today from it as well. So it's past and present.
Actually, if I have a viewer of the Dawah Bridge, a regular viewer, and I was told if I don't ask you to recite that poem, that I would be in problems with that person, his dear friend. So I don't know if it's an apt time for you to recite that one, if you can.
Okay, inshallah. The night journey, the night journey, the night journey, the night journey done by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ascension to the heavens. On top of the barak, the steed will speed the heavenly creature, with the general and the angel and Jibril and teacher. On the night journey, the night journey, the night journey, The night journey, first up Jerusalem, Beit al-Maqdis, praise of Allah and offer salah, the Muslim practice, and on that night, the Prophet lead the prayer, Baqa'im 124,000 Anbiya upon the night journey, the night journey, the night journey, the night journey, holy cardio surgery with Jibreel and Mikael, them pan the medical team, them take his Zamzam water and wash his blessed heart, blessing from the Lord, Lord of the Alameen, on the night journey, the night journey, the night journey, the night journey. What a big mercy with the original daily prayer 50, 40, 30, then down to 20, but Musa said it was plenty, so down to 10 and finally 5. We pray that day and night because of the night journey, the night journey, the night journey.
The night journey, indeed, indeed. It sounds like I get a sense, I get a vibration of more than words, more than poetry, but like ibadah.
Yes, yeah. That's right. I mean, I tend to like, I try to incorporate like just feeling into it as well, and to make it as well like a type of dhikr, you know, type of remembrance as well.
Yeah, I hear that. I feel that.
Alhamdulillah, just so it can like sort of resonate with people on a spiritual level as well, you know.
There's a saying, something of this nature, the words from the heart like touch the heart, something of this nature, but the words from the mouth just they don't go no further than that, like something of that nature. I don't want to misquote, but something about things that come from the heart connect with the heart.
Yes,
I get that. I get a sense of that from the poem. Tell us a little bit about that poem. Obviously, it's about the night journey, and on a, there's a kind of surface message, but what would you say is behind that, or on a deeper level? How would you explain that?
I would say the deeper level is that me personally, I feel like I'm just sort of scratching the surface in regards to that topic. So I don't even really summarize it. I just basically touch little aspects of that journey. The aim is that for people to listen to it and inshallah want to inquire more about the journey. So inshallah they'll be more interested and basically research more about the night journey, inshallah, because it's obviously it's quite lengthy, the whole story.
Yeah, it's a big event.
Yeah, and also it's just also me also showing appreciation for the journey as well, because I mentioned obviously in one of the verses that the sort of exchange between Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Musa alayhi salam in regards to the prayer, and initially how it was 50 and it came down to 5, but there was this going back and forth, and Musa was obviously advising the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, and that is something to be really grateful about, the fact that we only pray 5 times a day, but it does equate to 50 as well, and it's just really showing appreciation as well.
Alhamdulillah, it's powerful. How long do you recall how long that took to build? Because I don't even use the word write, because it's almost like you're constructing something.
Yeah, it's true. Do you know that probably took about maybe a couple of months, to be honest, because when I just kept on adding to it. I mean, I could have added some more as well, but I didn't want the song to be too long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just just added more. Okay, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. So it was just, after a while, it started to write itself. So about a couple of months it took. Yeah, and that was the same sort of format as well. Sometimes, when I'm driving as well, I just get these sort of melodies in my head, and I was driving, and I don't know, it's got this melody in my head, and I just said I don't know, the Night Journey. Like, and I started singing Night Journey.
Seriously?
Yeah.
As simple as, well, I say simple as that, but it's just boom.
Yeah, just boom. It's almost like wahi, isn't it? I don't know. Subhanallah. Yeah, obviously not wahi, but I'm just saying.
Was it Alhamd or something? Yeah. I know you're talking about the people that are not Anbiya, but Allah gives us something.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not on that level at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I won't even quote the Arabic.
Yeah.
We'll leave it as that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, so it just wrote itself from there, basically.
And you mentioned about your album coming up. We spoke a little bit about your album. What about in terms of performing? What's in the calendar?
The calendar, the next big event that I'm going to do next is my launch, my album launch.
Okay, so that's an event, as in not just it's a performing event.
It's going to be a performing event. Yeah, there's going to be various artists that are there as well, but it's going to be showcasing the album as well. So hopefully, inshallah, it's going to be a nice event. As well.
Are you privy to say who else will be there? Who else will be performing? You smile.
Yes, you know why? Because I've got artists that I want to perform in there on the night, but nothing's been confirmed yet. So I don't want to.
All right.
Spill the beans just yet.
And in terms of if somebody wanted to contact yourself, do you have like a Twitter or something like that? They just wanted to know about the art that Ahmadi class performs, or you want to read a little bit about your bio or something like this. Or
Yes. Okay. So.
Like a Facebook or a Twitter or something like that.
I think the best way to get in touch with me is via Facebook. So that'll be Ahmed Class on Facebook, and Ahmed is spelled Ahmad, and it's IKHLAS.
Okay.
And it'll be Ahmed Class 0 at Twitter, or you can go to my website, which is www.ahmedclass.com, and that will have all the links.
Okay. Some of your work is on there and things like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So just going back again, what would you say to anybody that's thinking about performance? A word of encouragement. You've given them some advice in this technical side, but if a person was watching, a Muslim was watching, man or woman, young or old, black or white, rich or poor, but they was watching and they were saying, I want to express myself, but I'm nervous.
Yeah.
What word of encouragement would you give them?
Just pursue it. Just if that's what you really like to do, and that's what you like, how you want to express yourself, then just pursue it. I mean, being nervous, it's normal. All artists experience nerves. It's just something that you will learn to deal with. You just got to make that step. And like I said, a good way to express that is just to go to open mic night. Even at first, if you don't perform, just go there and just look at the atmosphere. Just look at, just experience it for yourself, and then, that's a step in the right direction, and after you can obviously start looking at performing, but open night mics,
it's a good starting point.
Because that helped me a lot.
And are there open mic nights?
Yeah,
bit of a tongue twister.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
that you know on the circuit that is somewhere that specifically is like an Islamic atmosphere and it's run by Muslims and stuff. Are there any that you know of that you?
So Rumi's Cave in northwest London, actually.
Okay. Many young would-be Muslim writers are.
Many young Muslim writers, and many artists have come up through that particular space as well.
Right.
So what you should do if anyone's interested is go to Facebook and like Rumi's Cave, and
Rumi after the famous Rumi,
the famous Rumi. Yeah, that's right.
Mashallah.
Yeah, and there's other nights as well, like Hope and Mike. Which I believe is based in East London. But what I'd recommend Rumi's Cave.
So that would be a reasonable starting point.
Yeah.
Nice Muslim environment.
Yeah.
Gentle, see the pace, see the play, and then take it from there if they want to pursue the art.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a variety of genres of poetry, spoken word, and I got to tax you some more about the ability of the artist to make a change. Sometimes artists are like news reporters, right? You're reporting what happened, They're talking about what happened or what the vibe is or what the feeling is. We've spoken a bit about the spiritual side, like a religious devotion in essence. But what about as a vehicle for change, as in the society? You spoke about Senegal. What do you think writers could do in the UK, for example, to bring about community cohesion or help us deal with some of the challenges? Because there's some crazy stuff going on in
there is indeed
in the world right now, and in London it's a bit tense, it's a bit edgy. Muslims are feeling under attack. The general public, although there's, they probably got more chance of dying by falling over in a bath, but they're more worried about a kufi and a hijab and a beard and things of this nature get the general public, drip brainwashing of the media,
of course,
or at least certain media outlets helps to create that environment. What could Muslims do to challenge, to address some of the challenges we face as a society or as a community?
Yeah, they can speak about it. They can. One of the things that I've seen recently, which was quite good, it was listing the noble qualities of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, this happened on the back of like the sort of tragic events that happened recently, and it was obviously in conjunction with a certain magazine that was going to release images. So there was like an email, a tweet going around, and it was just saying like, on this particular day, just list one thing about the Prophet Muhammad that was, obviously that's good. Yeah, and it took off. People were just getting the message across. And that obviously non-Muslims were seeing the qualities of our Prophet, and I think it's very good to use outlets like social media as well, just to voice your opinion. And if more of us did this, we can act as like just one body, just
strength and unity.
Strength and unity. So the media is very good to express the truth.
It's true. True. So you're a performing artist.
I am.
Recording artist, right? But have you published your work, or is it, and if you haven't, is that something you would even consider, or not?
In what sense?
Publishers like some people have their work in book form.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I thought about doing that actually. Just to have sort of two versions. To have like the sort of Caribbean dialect version alongside the English version as well. Because I've noticed that some people, although they've expressed they liked it, they don't 100% understand what I'm saying.
Right.
So it would be good to have like sort of English equivalent just to break it down. So I have thought about publishing.
Okay. That sounds quite tricky in the sense because the Jamaican dialect is almost like a language, right? And it's beautiful and very articulate form of language or expression verbally, but written down it doesn't work. But like you were saying, you're gonna write you talked about trying to write it in standard English, but at the same time, things get lost in translation. So it's interesting.
Right. Yeah, things do. But I guess people will get like a general meaning of what I'm saying. You'll lose the sort of rhetoric. You'll lose that because of the language, but you'll get the meaning. But a lot of people understand what I'm saying, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's not surprising because of the popularity of that form of articulation. It's funny that I in the past worked with a lot of young people closely in my line of work, and from a variety of backgrounds, heritage Muslim backgrounds, just sort of global, just different. Britain, London is a quite cosmopolitan place, and the one thing I found interesting was that the Jamaican patois vernacular, or at least an attempt, or at least a variant of it, was weaved into some sort of half Cockney, half Jamaican patois. But a lot of the young people from, like I said, even traditional Muslim backgrounds spoke it or understood it, particularly young. Not the middle age, but the young.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you talk about, inshallah, the style becoming more appealing to a wider audience, it wouldn't surprise me if that was to happen. It wouldn't seem like a miracle, because a lot of young people would understand that. Again, in America, in African American cousins I think they call it the way that form, like the technical word, is like ebonics, right?
Ebonics, yeah.
But again, a lot of young people
Yeah.
globally understand. Maybe their parents won't understand.
Yeah.
What the heck is this guy saying, man?
Yeah.
This is swearing, he's not swearing. But they might not, but they don't really get the message. But the young people,
they understand that.
tune.
Yeah. That's true.
So yeah, it's interesting. Tell me about the challenges of free speech. Hopefully we're going to go into it in more detail, but just to introduce maybe a snippet of the next section, is it something you see challenging your work?
In my work, not particular, no, because I don't have that many political pieces. I have like maybe a few, but not that many. But when you go down the political road, then
is that in general or as a Muslim?
Oh, I mean in general, because your work could clash with a lot of other thoughts, other views, So, yeah, I mean, for example, like there's certain places if the government wouldn't allow you to say certain things. You know what I mean? So I guess in that sense, some people are quite clever how they deliver their message.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so I get a sense of them using, like, I don't know, innuendo or inference, but not out and out, coming out and saying particular things that would be falling foul of the law, which makes sense not to do. There's no point in getting yourself in trouble. We're going to express ourselves, but no point in making life difficult for our own selves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I hope to find out. You mentioned about your political. You only have a few political pieces, but I hope to find out in the part 3 a little bit about some of your political views, inshallah. Yeah. Stay with us. Hope to see you on the next side of the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.